Hey everybody, it's Heisenberg here. So today I'm going to be doing something a little different than what I usually make. Today I thought I would just give the people that are new to Skyrim modding a basic idea of how it is set up in the beginning. Because people seem to, especially people that are new to modding can be very intimidating, especially people not knowing all the tools that are needed and things that are just very important to modding in general. So I'm just going to show people how I always mod my game, like when I first set it up, because I actually had to reinstall my game the other day. So I have a fresh install of the game. I don't even have SKSE installed or anything yet, so I'm basically just going to show you guys what I do. And once you get the mod manager of your choice set up, I'm using Nexus Mod Manager. And in order to find Nexus Mod Manager, you would just go to nexusmods.com and you would click this right here at the top, install NMM, and you would just click that. There are a couple different mod managers out there, but if you're new to modding, I always recommend Nexus Mod Manager because it's pretty much the most simple mod manager for people that are beginning. There's also Mod Organizer, and you can find that on Nexus Mods, or you can just type it on Google. There's also Wrye Bash, which can also be found on Nexus. I always install Wrye Bash because it creates something called a bash patch, but I won't really go over that right now because that's more of something for advanced users. So the very first thing I do after I install my mod manager is I immediately install SKSE, which is the Skyrim script extender. I will give you a link for it in the description, or you can just go to Google and type in SKSE and it'll be the silverlock.org link. You can click on it and you'll get a page that looks like this. Now, in other videos like Gopher or Gamer Poet, they don't recommend installing it with the installer, but I always install it with the installer and I've never had any problems. So where it says current build, I would install the current build. I wouldn't recommend installing the beta because betas always seem to have issues because they're obviously not finished yet. So where it says current build 17.1, click installer, or if you feel more comfortable doing the archive installation, you can look at Gopher's video on how to do that. So once you install it, you're going to get a little thing down here and you can click on it. And then you're going to click yes on the pop-up that you get. And then it's going to give you you're going to get a pop-up like this, and if it doesn't lead you to your Skyrim folder, you're going to want to make sure that SKSE is being installed inside of your Skyrim folder. And if you don't know where that is, if you have an icon on your desktop like I do, you can just right-click it. Oh shit, that doesn't work. Typically, it's going to be installed under Program Files 86. Basically, wherever you have Steam installed is where Skyrim's going to be installed. So you would click your Steam folder, Steam Apps, Common, and Skyrim. And basically, where Skyrim Launcher and TESV are located, that's your Skyrim folder. Not really sure what that was about. Alright, so bring up the SKSE installer, and then you're going to click Next. And then I always recommend doing a desktop shortcut just so you can click on it and then click install. And it'll literally only take a couple seconds to install. And now as you can see, it's going to create another Skyrim icon with SKSE in the parentheses, and you can just delete your other icon if you had one on your desktop. So now SKSE is officially installed, and yeah, most mods always recommend that you have SKSE installed, so this is very important. So please, please, please make sure you have SKSE installed. So then, once you get that installed, the next thing that I always do is I install a program called Loot. Now, this is basically a program that updates your load order whenever you add or deactivate a mod. And this tool is very important because without this tool, you would corrupt your saves and you would just have a whole bunch of problems. So, if you can't find the page for it, I will provide a link for you in the description, so go ahead and click the link for it. And then you're going to get a page that looks like this. and click download loot stable, and then latest release. Make sure that's clicked if it's not, and then scroll all the way down to the bottom, and under downloads, click loot installer executable, and you're gonna get a thing down here. And my personal preference, I always install mine under the Skyrim folder, just because it's easier to find, and whatever language you're choosing, click OK. Click next. And typically yours isn't gonna automatically lead you to your Skyrim folder, but since this is like the third or fourth time I've installed this under my Skyrim folder, you would just basically where we just found SKSE, you would put it in your Skyrim folder. So program files 86, Steam, Steam apps, common, Skyrim. But now that we have that SKSE icon on your desktop, we can right click it and click open file location. And this is our Skyrim folder, so that's a cool little trick. So you don't have to install it in your Skyrim folder, but I highly recommend doing so, just because it's easier to find that way. And then once it's done installing, you can read the README if you want. I'm not going to, but you can run loot, and you're gonna get a little pop-up like this. And to update your load order, you click Sort Plugins, and you'll get this loot working bar right here. And then you'll get a pop-up like this, which is basically telling you what your load order is right now. And then if you click Apply, you can see like this little window right here. Now if you click the Details tab at the top, you can see that we have all of these messages with like telling you that you have dirty records. Now I'm basically going to show you a tool to fix that. And this tool is called TES5 Edit. And this is a very important tool because believe it or not, Bethesda didn't clean their mods before releasing Skyrim. So this is basically a tool to clean your mods. Now I'm not going to show you how to use the tool. I made a separate video on how to do that. But you're always going to need to install this. I always install this after I install loot. So once you get to the Test 5 edit page, you can click Files, and then you can just manually download the one that's under main files. So you can go ahead and do that, and I'll show you how to install this. So you're gonna get an archive pop up like this more than likely, and you can hit backspace and you can drag and drop the archive on your desktop. And we're gonna go back to our Skyrim folder, the one where we just installed loot. We can right click it and click open file location. And what I'm going to do now is I'm going to create a folder, and I'm going to call it Test5 Edit. And then I'm going to open up that folder, and I'm going to drag and drop the archive in here, and then I'm going to right click it, and I'm going to click Extract here. And it's just going to unpack all the files, and then we can delete the archive. And then, yeah, that's where I always install Test5 Edit, so whenever you need to find it, you can find it in here. So once you get that installed, the next thing you should install is SkyUI or any other mod that has a mod configuration menu, because if you're going to be modding, you're going to need something with the mod configuration menu. So you can go ahead and download that with Manager. And see, it requires SKSE, so most mods do require that. Now, I already have a SkyUI installed, but I'm just going to install it just so people don't get confused, and I'm going to overwrite it. But like I said in the beginning of the video, I would recommend Nexus Mod Manager for people that are just learning how to mod. But you can go ahead and install Wrye Bash if you wanted to, and you could watch a tutorial from Gopher or Gamer Poet on how to do bashed patches. And again, you can click the Files tab and manually install the installer, and it'll automatically install into your Skyrim folder. But if you're gonna have a whole bunch of mods, a bashed patch basically merges the mods into one plugin, so certain mods don't conflict. So it's actually a really cool feature. So again, installing this is optional, but it's a pretty good idea to get it installed now so you can have the most possibly stable game that you can have. And again, I always install it in my Skyrim folder, and it should automatically install it there. So go ahead and do that, and you'll get this little message here. I always ignore it because I've never had any problems. And then click install. It shouldn't take all that long to install, 10 seconds at the most. And if we go back to our Skyrim folder, it's going to be under the file called Mopey, and you can find it there. But yeah, once you get Loot, SKSE, Test 5 Edit, Wrye Bash, and SkyUI, or any mod with a mod configuration menu, you're pretty much all set up to mod Skyrim. Another tool that I'm going to show you that you're not necessarily going to need, it's not required to mod Skyrim, but if you're going to be using animation mods, like mods that modify the Skyrim vanilla walking, or like certain spell mods, or like even sex lab mods, I mean, everyone uses them. You can't sit here and tell me that you don't use sex lab mods or have not at some point. You're going to need a mod called FNIS, and it's called Four's New Idols in Skyrim. And you can just open up the page, and you can go to the files section and download the always necessary file, and you can download it with Manager, and then you can download the spells add-on with Manager, and you can download the creatures pack with Manager. But I don't use the creature pack because I've had a lot of issues with that. So you can pretty much activate it in your mod manager, which is these two files right here. Currently I have no mods activated because, like I said in the beginning of the video, I had to reinstall my game because I've been having a lot of issues with my game with crashing and stuff. But if you're more advanced into modding, you could try Mod Organizer. I highly recommend this mod manager. I've used it before, but again, this isn't my first rodeo. I've had to reinstall my game a couple times, so I switch back and forth between Nexus Mod Manager and Mod Organizer. I've never tried Wrye Bash before. I've only used it for bash patches, but yeah, that's pretty much a basic understanding of how I personally set my game up. Not everyone sets up their game the same, but these tools are highly recommended for stuff like this because you're always going to need to clean your mods, and you're always going to need something with a mod configuration menu, and SKSE you're pretty much going to need for every mod, and Loot you're definitely going to need that for updating your load order. I'm going to show you one more tool that I actually forgot. It's called the save game script tool, or yeah, I think it's this, but I use this one and this one. So it's called the Save Game Script Cleaner. I'll put a link for it in the description. It's going to look like this. Now, this is a really nice tool to use. It's basically for like if you use mods that are script heavy, like Frostfall, stuff like that, and if you activate them and deactivate them, sometimes the files will still be in your scripts, and that can cause a lot of problems. So this basically cleans it out for you. You can download just regular save tool. Don't download the beta. So go ahead and download version 1.13. And then you're going to get a zip file for it. And you don't have to install it in your Skyrim folder, but I always do. So again, drag and drop on your desktop. And then create a new folder. Save Game Script Cleaner. Click on it, drag and drop the archive, right click, extract here, and then there you go. And then you can delete the archive. And now this tool right here, the Save Game Script Scapel, I recommend using this tool too, but it's a pretty advanced tool, and there is a tutorial on how to use it if you ever care to check it out. But I only use this if all other options have failed. So you can download that manually if you want. You don't have to download this. But I always recommend installing basically whatever tools that you can get that are good for Skyrim. I always recommend installing them. Now I already have one installed, so I'm going to drag and drop it. Create new folder. Shit, what is it called? There we go. Oh my god. Copy. If I didn't have OCD about this, this wouldn't be a problem. Alright, sorry about that. Alright, so drag and drop the archive, right click, extract here, and it'll unpack everything. And then you can click on it and you would click the PDT wrapper. And you'll get something that looks like this. And I would highly recommend watching the tutorial on how to use it because it is kind of confusing at first. But yeah, once you get a little pop-up, what am I saying? Once you get all these tools downloaded, you're pretty much good to go on modding Skyrim. You can go ahead and watch other tutorials on how to use Test 5 Edit and all that good stuff. But yeah, these are pretty much the basic tools that you use. So I'm pretty much gonna end this video here. So if anyone has any questions or anything or needs any help, feel free to send me a message or leave me a comment. I really do enjoy helping people get their Skyrim up and running, because when I first started modding, I didn't really have any help. I pretty much had to figure it out on my own, and I know how much that can suck sometimes. So, yeah guys, I'm gonna go ahead and end this video here, and I hope this video could at least help someone out that's been having issues with it. So, again, you can like the video if you want, or you can dislike it. And I would really appreciate it if you guys could subscribe to me, because I make these videos for you guys. So, yeah, if anyone has like a video, like a tutorial that they would like me to make, just leave it in the comments and I'll get to it when I can. So, again, this is Heisenberg, and I hope you enjoyed this video, and I'll see you in the next one.